Hello, my loves. It's Tiffany, the Miracles Coach. All right, there has been so much going on in the past few days. Like, I don't even know how I'm keeping up. And then it's funny because, okay, so January 2nd through the 12th, my family and I were on vacation. We always start the year on vacation. Most of those who have followed me for a long time probably know that. All of that to say we've been on vacation. And I actually said to myself, like, oh, I'm going to just chill after vacation. I'm going to take, the rest of that week off. And then I'm just going to go back to work on the following Monday, the 19th. And so here it is, the 15th, and I have recorded multiple audios, not just this one, but multiple that you will be hearing very soon. But the reason why I'm recording this one specifically is because I had a huge epiphany yesterday, and I was just like, oh my God. So basically, long story short, I have been recording Miracles Unscripted episodes since July when I started my YouTube channel. It was something that I wanted to do to document my experience for myself, but also for you, because I feel like, let me just say that I wish one of my coaches did a Miracles Unscripted back when I was coming up, because I probably would have made so much less mistakes and I wouldn't have taken everything so seriously. And I just feel like I would have grown so much better and so much faster had I had the real, right? And Miracles Unscripted is something that I created because I am someone who lives a surrendered life. And this has gotten more and more complex as I've gotten older, as my kids have gotten older, after I had, my last baby, Joelle. Like, all of these different pieces have come together into this and has created what my business is now. And so many things have changed in my life, and it's changed my business tremendously. And for a while, it was hard for me to find my footing, like to really get grounded again and really enjoy my business again, like really be consistent in my business again, all of those things. And yeah, this particular episode of this Miracles Unscripted private podcast, which is what this is called now, is that I wanted to just share this epiphany that I had yesterday. Miracles Unscripted has been going on for a while, and I had a conversation with a friend yesterday, and they were just kind of like, you're keeping the Miracles Unscripted thing like a secret in a sense. Like, why are you hiding some of your best stuff? And I was just like, it's just not something that's for public consumption. Like, it is raw and real and unedited, unpolished, unscripted. Like, I just hit record and I just talk, and whatever comes out, comes out. And sometimes it's a hot ass mess. Sometimes it is unprocessed emotions. Sometimes it is, and I guess a lot of coaches wouldn't show you that because they don't want you to see, a lot of people just don't want you to see what's real. But also, it's just that sometimes it's not really helpful to show your audience the unprocessed parts of yourself, because I'm a very, very emotional person. So I can let things spiral me out really, really quickly. But the reason why I want to share those moments with you is because I want you to see that this can be imperfect. I want you to see that you can be a hot mess and still be surrendered, still be successful, still show up to the world, and all of those things. Like, you don't have to hide the intimate parts of yourself. Now, I'm not saying you go and spill your guts on social media. There's a lot of talk about this, and I had a lot of talks back and forth about this with multiple people because I was curious, like, what do you think about this? What I decided was that Miracles Unscripted definitely should be not for public consumption in every aspect. And it should have like maybe select episodes that can go public, and then other ones that really just stay for the inner circle, right? And so if you have signed up for Miracles Unscripted, or you chose to be in that space, then you are what I consider to be the inner circle. And so those more intimate moments, those things that are more private that I may not share publicly, those are the things that you would hear in Miracles Unscripted. It's almost like me just sitting across from my girlfriend and, saying, girl, this is all the stuff that's going on in my life right now, right? Like, or this is what I'm going through today, or this is what I'm processing through, or, I surrendered this thing, but I still just feel like I don't get it, or I don't understand, or God's not responding, or God's not giving me what I'm asking for. Like, this is where I just kind of bear it all. Like, I bear my entire soul. And of course, I can't share everything in my life with you, but you get a very, very intimate look at what's going on in my life, what I'm processing, what I'm going through, how I'm walking through it, how I live a surrendered life as a mom, as a homeschool mom at that, where a lot of my time is taken up with my kids, as a wife, as a business owner. I just want people to be able to see what's real, because I think a lot of times we come on social media so polished up. Even on my YouTube videos, I mean, I'm a very real person, so I'm going to be pretty real and legit with you most of the time, but there are times where I still have to kind of, like, just watch what I say, or not say everything, or not tell everything in one moment, you know? And so, because if I'm teaching a specific lesson, it's not always relevant anyway. So, but there are times where I just wish that somebody had been real enough to show me what was going on behind the scenes in their life, because I think that we feel like to be successful in this industry that we have to be so perfect and polished all the time. And it's just not true. It just really is not true. And, you know, or that you have to have all your shit together before you can teach somebody else something. None of that is true. If you feel like God has called you to do something and you're holding back because you feel imperfect, you feel like, oh, I don't talk the right way, or I don't, you know, articulate a certain way, or I don't write a certain way, or I can't do this the way this person does it, or this person is so perfectly made up and, you know, she has her makeup on and her hair is done all the time and yada yada. Like, none of that stuff matters. None of it matters, right? And I just want you to see somebody who's living it out in a very real way, in a very messy way, in a very sometimes very chaotic way, but it's all beautiful still, because I believe that it's all orchestrated by God, right? Like, the whole point of this life is to grow our vessel, to be able to hold and sustain and to carry out the mission that God has given us. And there are going to be challenges and tests and things that come to make us stronger. I mean, that's just the whole point at the end of the day. Like, that is what we're doing here. When we don't need to learn anything else, or when we don't need to have those kinds of challenges and things like that anymore, we will cease to exist. So as long as you are breathing, know that it's okay that you go through things, that you're experiencing certain things, that you're frustrated with certain things, that you feel whatever you feel, right? And you allow those emotions to process and all of those things, and you get them out and you share. But it doesn't all have to necessarily be shared publicly. Like I said, I don't share every little waking moment of everything that's going on in my life with you, but I do like to share a lot of behind the scenes with you, because I just want you to see that it can be imperfect and you can still have a successful business. You can still be doing what God called you to do, you know, be the woman that God called you to be out here living your life in a way that people can see God on you and in you and running through you. Rather, like, you can have whatever opinion you want to have about me, but what you cannot say is that I'm not embodied in my relationship with God, and that I'm not embodied in surrender. I do have times where I'm like, this doesn't feel like surrender at all. I feel like a psycho right now. I'm questioning everything and I'm not really trusting God at all right now. But that's a part of the process. We're not going to always feel perfectly like, yeah, of course I can surrender. Like, it's not always easy. But I like to show you what's real so that you can see that you can live this surrendered life very much imperfectly. You can have a business and be successful and do what God is calling you to be imperfectly. You can be you imperfectly, but you can still be authentic and unapologetic about who you are and what God called you to do. And you can come to these platforms, whatever platforms you choose to use, and you can share your life and share your message and get what God is giving you to give to the world out and be successful and, you know, have people drawn to you. And a lot of these things, guys, these imperfections that we have, these things that we're judging about ourselves, these are things that people don't even care about most of the time. Even like sometimes I'm like, oh, I say like so much. I say, you know, so much. I say this so much. I'm long-winded. I go around in circles about everything I'm talking about. There are people who have listened to me for over a decade who love the way that I teach. It's just a part of who I am. And these things that we frown up at, or we're embarrassed by, or we feel like aren't good enough to share with the world, these are the very things that a lot of times will draw people to you, because that rawness and that realness and that authenticity is magnetic. People want to see realness. People, like, I don't know about you, but I'm tired of like just looking at everything all polished up. Like, I don't even pay attention to people like that anymore. Give me something real. Give me something raw. Give me the real you. That's what I want to see. And if there's any way that I feel like you're being fake, or it's not really you, or you're not really expressing whatever, like, not that you have to tell all your business, because some people don't. I'm a storyteller. It's how I work. It's how I teach. It's how I run my business. So you're always going to hear stories from me, but everybody doesn't operate like that. Everybody doesn't teach like that. So that's okay. But if I just feel like you're just, you know, putting out some BS that's just like some polished up, perfect version of you, if you're not being real, I'm typically not going to be interested. And, you know, for some people, the polished up stuff is what is important to them. So there are people for that. And there are people for people like me and people like you, you know, like everybody has their audience, and you just have to trust that as you are authentically yourself, God will bring the people who are meant to be in your spaces and in your communities. He will bring and draw those people to you, so you can trust that. That's a part of the surrender journey, right? And so all of that to say, I've just decided that Miracles Unscripted should not be kept behind a wall any longer. Even though I'm not going to share every single episode that I've recorded, I'm going to share some of them, select ones that I think are really cool, because it's interesting, because the friend that I was talking to was like, this is literally probably the thing that will blow up your business, and you're hiding it. And that's an interesting thing, because I have been hiding in my business for many, many years. Actually, for the entire time I've been in my business. I did go out publicly for a little while, and once I built a little audience, and I had a couple people watching me, and by a couple I mean like a couple thousand or whatever, and I had a few people that would pay attention to my videos and comment and come and interact and engage and all of those things. I got very comfortable, and I stopped going out publicly and speaking, and I just kind of stayed in my little Facebook community and allowed myself to just kind of box myself in there, and I wasn't bringing in any new people. And so I kind of dropped the ball with building my audience, because I got too comfortable, and I got comfortable hiding and being like, oh yeah, I just want to be in an intimate space, and I just want to share the intimate things with the people who have chosen to opt in. But I really just don't care anymore. Like I said, that everything is not going to be shared, but there are going to be things that I share that I just want to get out into the world. And that I feel like sometimes Miracles Unscripted episodes I finish, I'm like, whoa, that was so good. Like, that needs to be shared publicly. And it's funny, because in December and January, I started recording some episodes, and I was just like, this is very time sensitive, because it's the end of the year, or it's the beginning of the year. Like, I need to be sharing these things maybe on YouTube. And you'll notice in some of the audios, I'll say something like, I don't know where I'm going to share this yet, because I was considering sharing it publicly, even though it was a quote unquote Miracles Unscripted episode. And then I realized, like, well, why don't you just share a select number of them? And so that's what I chose to do. So Miracles Unscripted is no longer private. Not all of it. You will still have private episodes, and there will be times where I just share things that I just feel like are too intimate or too deep to go out in public. But overall, if you want to join Miracles Unscripted, you'll be able to come into the school community, and you can listen to episodes there. It's also going to be housed on a private podcast, where you can listen to it on any of your podcast platforms like Spotify or Apple. And then also the ones that I put on YouTube, I will put them in a podcast, quote unquote, form on YouTube, where you can listen to the public episodes on YouTube as well. And so there are just so many different facets to it. And honestly, I'm so excited about it, because it has been kind of in a hiding space, and I don't want that anymore. I want to just be me. And I promised myself when I started my YouTube channel that I was going to allow it to be fully me, and I wasn't going to not censor myself, because that's kind of ridiculous, but you know what I mean? Like, I wanted it to be me first, not just my business. And because I've had specific series that I've taught, I have kind of ventured more into staying in the business realm and not really showing me and my true personality. And that's what I really want to show there. So I want it to be more than just me teaching. I want it to be me in general. And so it may be a lot of different things that start coming up on the YouTube channel this year. I'm not really sure what this is going to lead into or what it's going to look like. But for now, I just want to share all of these things, because I just want you to see me. Yeah. And so all of that to say, and I'm trying not to make this super long, but I don't have any script. Like I said, this is Miracles Unscripted. I don't even know everything that I wanted to say. I probably forgot things. I might have missed things. But at the end of the day, I just wanted to share that this is now going to be a public podcast, partially. And then it'll still be private as well, and there'll still be exclusive episodes that you only get if you're in the private space. So either way, if you like this and you want to know more, you want to, join the private podcast, if you want to just listen to a few of the public episodes that come out in the next few weeks or whatever and see how you feel about it, whatever feels good to you, go for it. All right. But I just wanted to give you a formal invitation to the private podcast. I wanted to share with you a little bit about what's going on and why I made that decision and how it came about and all of that. So yeah, and then I'll also be able to share in the moment with you what's going on. And then also I'll be able to share more often. I'll be able to post more videos to my channel, which is also really exciting. And then also I'll be continuing the Surrendered Business Experience as is, but I'll be dropping these in between. So you'll be getting a lot more content from me with different topics and different things that are going on. And yeah, I just want to welcome you to Miracles Unscripted. So I hope you love it. And if you don't, and if it's not for you, that's totally cool. But in the meantime and in between time, I just wanted to give you that invitation. So join me here listening to the regular ones that I choose to make public, or you can come listen to the really intimate ones that I keep in the private space. But either way, I'd love for you to listen, and I'd love to know your thoughts if you would like to share them. And yeah, lots of love and miracles. Thank you so much for being here. Mwah.